All right, guys, today we are going to learn about finding distance on the coordinate plane. And there's really three different levels to this skill. The first level is the most basic. So, what we are given is we are given a picture, and we are supposed to find the distance from Lee's house. So, you have to find Lee's house. Okay, Lee's house is right here. Remember, we look at the dot, not the actual house. We need to find the distance from Lee's house to the playground. So now you have to find the playground. It's right here. Okay? So how would you find that distance? Well, we would count how many boxes. Okay? So I'm going to do bunny hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, you're counting the squares, not the lines. So Lee's house is 8 units from the playground. Just to make sure we understand this, let's do one more. Okay, now it wants me to go from the school. I gotta find the school. Oh, the school's right here. Okay, it wants me to go from the school to the playground. Oh, this is getting messy, but I can do it. So from the school to the playground, hop with me. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 units. Okay, so if you can count, you can find distance on the coordinate plane when you are given the points in the coordinate plane. All right, so the first level, they give you a picture, they tell you 2 locations, and you have to figure out how far they are. All you're going to do is bunny hop. Count how many hops it takes to get from one to the other. Now, let's go to the next level, which is going to make it a little bit more challenging. Now, if you notice, we don't have boxes anymore, but we are still given ordered pairs and we're still given a picture, okay? So we can still figure this out. It's just going to take more brain power. So the question says, the Coulter family wants to take a day trip to the water park. How far is it from their home to the water park? So let's figure out the places that we're dealing with. We want to go from their home, which is right here, to the water park, which is right here. Okay, I can't bunny hop, but what I have to do is I have to look at the coordinates, the ordered pairs they give me. Now, when you look at these 2 ordered pairs, you should notice something that shows up in both ordered pair. What is it? You should notice they both have a -40. Okay, so that -40, the matching number I ignore. That just means they're lined up, they're on the same road. I'm going to pay attention to the numbers that differ. So, what's going on here is the Coulter's house is over 65.5 miles from my y axis. Now, remember, this is my 0 line. Okay, so the Coulter's home is 65.5 miles to the right. The water park is going to be 85.5 miles to the left. Okay, because here's 85.5 miles, here's 65.5. They went different directions. One was to the right of 0, one went to the left of the 0. So to find the total distance between those 2 places, what do you think I should do with these 2 purple numbers? I should add them. And this is where you can use a calculator if you wish, or you can use your brain. I'm choosing to use a calculator for speed and accuracy. When I add those 2 things together, I'm going to get 151 miles. So that is how far apart the house is from the water park. I couldn't bunny hop 151 times, but I could use the 2 numbers that were different from each other. One was one direction, one was the other direction, so I just added them together. Now, we're going to try that again in case it doesn't make sense. So here's another picture with a different question. Let's read, shall we? The Coulter family made it to the rest stop. Okay, so they're at the rest stop. Here they are. And they decided to stop for lunch. How much further do they have to go to get to the water park? So they're at the rest stop and they want to go to the water park. So basically, I want to know how far apart this space is. Can I bunny hop? No. Okay, so let's look at the coordinates they gave me. You got to find the matching numbers and mark them out. Which numbers match? The -40s. So I don't want those. So I have to do something with these two numbers. All right, so let's see here. They went back 25.75. And then they had to go an additional amount to get here. So I basically need to know how much further do they have to go? How much further is going to mean what's the difference? So these are on the same side together. I have to figure out what's the difference between those two. Difference is a key word for what type of math operation? Subtract. So I'm going to pretend like these friends are positive, because remember, distance is always positive, like absolute value, and I'm going to subtract them. I did stack them, but I'm going to have my calculator do the work for me. Bigger number minus the smaller number, and I get 59.75. That is how many miles it will take me to get from here to here. Because I needed to know how much further do I need to go to get to 85.5 to the left. Okay? Now that's different than the other question, which wanted me to go from the house to the water park. Those were on two separate sides of the coordinate plane. And so I went left on one. I guess that's right. I went right on one and left on the other. So I needed to add them together because I went two different directions. This problem has me going the same direction. So I'm going to subtract. Okay, now that's going to make more sense in the next example. If you're like, Miss Pitcock, what are you doing? So let me clear the screen. And we're going to take it to the very next level. Because remember, there's 3 levels. Lies. Here's one more question. So it says they had a blast at the water park. And now they're ready to head home. They stop at the rest stop to get gas. And then they head on to home. Okay, so I'm at the rest stop. And I want to go home. All right. So look at your ordered pairs. I can't bunny hop because there's no lines. So which numbers match? -40. Bye-bye. So I want to know what these numbers mean. Well, these numbers told me, okay, I went 25.75 to the left. And then I had to go 65.5 to the right. Okay, so when I'm going different directions, I can actually add those two together. 25.75 to the left, 65.5 to the right, because remember, this is my 0 line. When I add this together, I will get my total distance. I hope this is making sense. If it's not, you need to let me know. So I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to add them together, and you're going to get 91.25 miles. That's how far apart those are, because they had to start here and go 25.75. And then they had to go another 65.5 to get their total miles. Now, we're going to go to a question where there's no picture at all. The third level. So, there's no picture. You have to find the distance between these 2 points. It's actually pretty easy because there's a trick you can use. The first thing you want to do is mark out the matching ordered pair number. So, you have a -5 here and a -5 here. So you want to know the difference between 6 and 2. How far apart is 6 and 2? Well, when they're the same sign, you subtract. S for same, S for subtract. So when they're the same sign, you subtract those. 6 minus 2 is 4. Go to the next question. The -6's match, so let's get rid of those. I want to know how far apart 5 is from 2. Well, they're the same sign, so subtract them. 5 minus 2 is 3. Those two ordered pairs are 3 spaces apart. All right, let's go to the next one. The numbers that match here are the 8s. I want to know how far apart -2 is from 7. Now, if you notice, one's negative 1 is positive. Those are different signs. When it's different signs, you need to add, okay? The reason is because on my number line, here's 0. I went 2 backwards, and then I'm going 7 forwards. That's my -2, 2 backwards, 7 forwards. The total distance between those is going to be 9. One more. Mark out the matching numbers. The -7s match. These are different signs. Remember, here's 0. I'm going backwards 4 for -4. I'm going forwards 9. So the total distance between those, you're going to have to add because they were 2 different directions, and you're going to get 13. So that is how you find distance on the coordinate plane, okay? What you do, and I'm going to go back, hopefully, if I can. When you are given a graph that has grid lines, bunny hop and count. You can count the distance. When you are given a picture, you can use it to help you visualize, but you're still going to have to use the same trick of, do I need to add the different numbers, or are they the same sign and I should subtract them? And what we did here, mark out the matching numbers. If they're the same sign, you're going to subtract. If they are different signs, you're going to add. All right, and that is how you find distance on the coordinate plane.